Hello, Libra. Welcome to your monthly reading for February 2026. This is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and we're going to jump right in. Libra Nation, if you are new to my channel, I'm going to give you your astrological overview. Then I'm going to do a full Celtic cross spread. Then we'll break it down week by week. We'll pull more cards, talk about a couple more aspects, and then the second spread, Libra. You buckled up? You strapped in? Twice. When I was looking at what's going on for you this month, I think I said, oh my diddly days, like 5 times. This is going to be a month, okay? And you already know that we're here. This is it. You're welcome to the gateway to our brand new era. Yeah. The birth of this whole new world we're about to move into. You know, February is such a pivotal month with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. It's so rare. It's so rare that it's so powerful that it actually helps define the future of the 21st century. Like, this is big, all right? January, by the way, remember, was the cracking of the egg. February is your first breath in this new reality, or gasp, or scream, or cheer, or, you do you. Libra, you do you, but get excited because we're here. We're here. The aspect that everybody's been talking about for years is here. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries, the world axis, the creator degree. This aspect, which if you don't know, if you've been living in a non-astrology world, cave, it's just never happened in modern human history, okay? And that's thousands and thousands and thousands of years, meaning we are the first to experience this reality shift, this frequency shift. And what makes it so rare is, it really is, you've got to think of it as the orbit, right? The orbit of these planets, allowing these planets to align so precisely at this extremely narrow window for an exact conjunction at 0 degrees Aries, the very first degree in the very first sign in the zodiac. Therefore, the beginning of the beginning, the great reset, okay? The great collapse, the great awakening. February isn't a month. It's your last glance back at the old world, okay? As you begin to create your new reality. And so I did a video on what you can expect for the next 2 years of your life with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction at, remember, it's part of the rare grand trine, the prism portal, which makes it even more rarer, okay? So I'll leave it at the end of this video. It's big. There's a lot to talk about, but just know it's going to have significant impact on your life, Libra, okay? And wow, again, I can't wait to dive right in, but just know if you are a subscriber, you will remember me saying every month, every week for the past year and a half, the moment that Saturn and Neptune got together last summer. So remember, you got a little preview of it already. I told you everything's going to change. Yeah, I told you everything's going to change. I said, take inspired action for where you want to be by now, by February 2026. Yeah, time flies, right? I said, wax on, wax off. I said, put in the work. I said, out with the old, in with the new. I said, everything's going to change. Saturn turns your dreams into reality. Neptune dissolves your old systems, your old structures. You're entering a new epoch. Anyway, and last summer is when I launched my website, greatawakener.com, to prepare you for this exact moment, okay? Because I see what's happening the next few years. You're on the brink of moving into the greatest paradigm shift. Your reality will shift. It's Saturn. Saturn is reality, right? So anyway, you're already experiencing change, Libra. I see it. You're going to be adapting to a lot more change. February is more than the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, okay? And if you saw my February astrology overview, live stream, which I'll leave at the end of this video. You're welcome. I did explain that I've never seen a month like this, February. I've never seen anything like that. And when I say that, yes, this is a month that's chock full of rare aspects, right? Some that we've never experienced in our lifetime, right? But the aspects that are happening this month, the alignments, all of that, they are perfectly, suspiciously placed throughout the month as if carefully designed, as if something cosmically divine played a role in preparing you to leave everything behind for your new you. So, with that said, 3 things February that stand out that you're going to see. Okay. 1, we enter eclipse season. Yeah. Eclipses are game changers. They bring the unexpected. 2, almost all the planetary aspects are with Uranus, the planet of change and the unexpected. 3, the majority of the aspects and alignments in general are going to be with Chiron, the wounded healer, and the North Node. Yeah. So expect change, expect the unexpected, expect to heal old wounds to make room for destined life events. And yes, there's more in the back. Parties in the back. That's where, just wait. And not everything's on the whiteboard, by the way, as always. And the other thing, we're not going to talk about everything. We're going to break it down week by week. We'll go over some of the aspects, but especially the first week, we'll talk about next week in your weekly forecast. But we do have to talk about Sunday, February 1st, full moon in Leo. This is big. This one's big for you, Libra. This one is very telling. I feel like it's going to have a really big impact on you moving into February, but you see it's happening on the 1st. You're already releasing as soon as you move into February. Full moons bring completion. They're turning points, right? They're emotional. But this one is actually kind of nice. I feel like there's something here. It's in your 11th house. So there's something here with friendships. There's something here with a friend. There may be the, ending of a friendship. Maybe there's groups that you decide that it's not your thing anymore as well. But it's a joyful full moon. It's in Leo, this full moon. It lets you fully express yourself, okay? Your authentic self. It's Leo energy, right? Remember, it's like the spotlight, the stage. It's all yours, right? So there's going to be some attention here on people that you connect with and connecting with people. 11th house is also your future hopes and aspirations and goals. So there may be something here revealed because don't forget, we are still in Aquarius season. And there's 5 planets still in Aquarius the first week up until February 6th. So even Pluto in Aquarius still for 19 years. Therefore, revelations, there may be truths coming to the surface. It's a full moon. Full moons illuminate. So there really could be something here where you're really being honest with yourself about something as well that might have to do with love and romance or, your partner. There may be something here with family and children or creative projects and having babies. It is your 5th house. Now, where am I? Oh, yeah. Cross watchers, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your, sister Janelle, it doesn't matter. Fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are going to feel this one the most. Yeah, this full moon. If you have any planets in your natal chart, 11 to 15 degrees in any of those signs, well, those planets are going to be aspected by this full moon. You're going to feel it the most. Now, the other thing that's happening for you that I think that you really should know about is Tuesday, February 3rd, Uranus is stationing direct, okay? 27 degrees. I think you're going to like this because I would say, remember, Uranus went retrograde September 6th. So think about September up until now. Did you feel like things were a little bit stalled, especially with love and money? Maybe there were you maybe going through doing some shadow work as well. But Uranus is now moving forward. Uranus, right? Planet of surprises and the unexpected and breakthroughs and revelations and wake up calls, shocks to the system. You're going to feel this. Remember, when Uranus moves, he moves. He's in your eighth house. So Uranus and Taurus, your eighth house, which is transformation. But it's deeper than that. The eighth house is really deep. And you probably spend a lot of time thinking about your relationships, current relationships you want to be in, as well as your future investments, money, inheritance, investments, royalties, commissions, things like that. Yeah, joint bank accounts. But now things are going to happen, okay? This is also just a reminder to shake things up. Remember, Uranus wants you to be innovative, and he is going to take you out of your comfort zone. All right. So the other thing is, remember, Uranus is also progress. Uranus is forward momentum. There's going to be a lot of activity that you're going to see roll out this month for you, especially with money. Okay. Now, Friday, February 6th, you got Mercury moving into Pisces. That's great. You're going to have Mercury here for the rest of the month. This is going to be a little, you're going to have a lot of, you're going to get very spiritual with Mercury and Pisces. We'll talk about it next week in your weekly forecast. Pisces is a little, little too new age for Mercury. Mercury's like, you're too, because Mercury's so rational and he needs facts and logic. And Pisces is that dreamer energy that we love. Yeah. It's all that intuition. It's your higher mind. Pisces, again, very spiritual energy, a lot of healing energy here. And so it takes some time for Mercury to acclimate. But when he does, and he will, he becomes compassionate. He learns how to play the saxophone. He's soulful, right? So really great. You're going to have a lot of focus here on work. Yeah. Pisces rules your sixth house. So when I say work, it's more about like your workplace as well as colleagues, employees, your responsibilities and duties when it comes to work. There may be some health matters as well that you may attend to. And when I say health matters, it just, again, feels very spiritual. You might decide to do more holistic therapies. You might decide to, eat or try vegan food. You're going to see emphasis there, especially when Venus joins. We'll talk about that. Actually, let's talk about it now. You do see Venus square Uranus, by the way. Yeah, Venus in Aquarius squaring Uranus and Taurus. By the way, remember I said that the majority of the planetary aspects, so planet to planet, will be squaring Uranus. Venus and all the planets that will square Uranus will be in Aquarius. So Aquarius rules your fifth house of true love and romance, and Uranus and Taurus is in your eighth house of deepening relationships and intimacy. And they're the two houses that represent sex. So you have Venus square Uranus. Why don't I just tell you, okay? This is breakups, but also breakthroughs. Yeah? Also shakeups, as in if you're in a relationship and you feel like things have gotten a little bit stale, there might be some moments that you have where you're like, okay, instead of having, Chinese food today, why don't we try, I don't know, Hot Pockets? Or, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to try different things. And I encourage it. That's what Uranus wants you to do. Okay. But I will say, Venus being your ruler in Aquarius, which is great, but Aquarius is it craves mental stimulation. Yeah. And is more groups minded, more community minded. When this aspect happens, millions of people around the world turn to their partner and say, I think we're better as friends. Just let you know, it's one of those aspects. But again, it's also just shaking things up. And what makes this one different than a typical Venus-Uranus square is that you've got Venus in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus. And so you have mutual reception. Venus is Taurus's ruler. Uranus is Aquarius's ruler. They're hosting each other. So there is a little bit of compromise here. And then it's not just relationships. There can be like creative projects and energy. There's money here as well. Venus, remember, isn't just love, it's love and money, but also it is your eighth house, love and money as well. So there's a lot of different things can happen around this time. But it's Uranus. So expect the unexpected. Life is like a box of chocolates. Now, Tuesday, February 10th, you got Venus moving into Pisces. This is amazing. This is great. Venus is exalted in Pisces. So she's in her chariot. So she rules you and Taurus, right? And so, but she thrives in Pisces. And this drives forth that compassion and that romanticism and it just a lot of pleasure. It's fun. It's fun. It's pleasurable. It's like the kissy emoji. It's your sixth house. So it's your everyday activities, your routines, your lifestyle, and again, health and self-improvement and wellness as well as work. So it's just a lot of creative energy that you're going to be working with. And again, it's Venus, your ruler, right? So a lot of focus on love, relationships. The creative energy, though, if you're an artist or a singer or a dancer or a poet or a saxophone player, perfect. That's perfect. All right. Now, it is very inspiring, is what it is. The other thing that is happening is Thursday, February 13th, Saturn moves into Aries. So I'm not sure if you know this, but this is going to be a really big deal for you. Saturn, we'll talk about it more in your weekly forecast. Saturn's fallen in Aries. It doesn't matter. You listen, what happened for you between May 24th to September 1st last year? Okay. Neptune was there too. So Saturn was with Neptune, but what changes did you experience or feel when it came to not only leadership, but anything that you launched with like new ventures that you initiated? Okay. You should have redefined your identity, reinvented yourself, because Aries is the I am of the zodiac, the emperor in tarot. This is ownership. And it's you becoming a boss, right? An authority. You embraced more discipline. You had zero tolerance. This is your seventh house. And so seventh house is contracts, it's agreements, it's working with others, but it is also love and marriage and partnerships and business partners, right? Personal relationships. So there could have been a lot of y'all really stepping up to what you want, being very decisive, okay? And really leading relationships in a new direction. Yeah? You probably took on a lot more responsibility, possibly in a relationship as well. And again, it can be any type. It can be, your relationship with your, book agent or, right? But it's your home. You rule the seventh house. So you could have felt a little bit impatient there as well. Saturn likes things slow and steady. Aries doesn't. All right. But there's a little bit of a homecoming here for you because Saturn is exalted in your sign, like thrives in your sign. And so you're going to have this. And by the way, Saturn is karma. Yeah. And so you put in the work, he rewards you. And you've got unfinished business. Yeah, last summer was a trailer. You've got the main feature. And so this is all about your life lessons. But there may be something here where it is going to be your biggest lessons for the next 2 years up until April 2028. Yeah, we'll be in relationships and love and marriage and partnerships, unions, your commitments. And again, it can be personal relationships. Or it could be, more than one. It could be a business partner. It could be your, significant other, and it could be your sister, right? So, but this is where your biggest lessons will be, for 2 years. And officially conjunct Neptune. So you're going to feel their energies merging at this point and building. You may have a little bit of deja vu. This is up until February 20th when they conjunct at their perfected 0 degree. So yeah, the countdown begins. We'll talk about more in your weekly forecast. If you want, you can think about what happened for you between April 1996 to February 1999. The last time Saturn was in Aries. Okay? In your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. But remember, you did not have Neptune there. So this is a very different type of, feeling you're going to have. Now, the other thing is, because we're talking about love and relationships is a big thing for you this month. Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's not like a fun, flirty, romantic night out type of V-Day. It's going to be the moon's going to be in Capricorn. Yep. So you're probably not going to go out anyway. It rules your 4th house. You're going to be at home. You'll probably, put on Mission Impossible. You're going to, you know what I mean? Like it's like comfort at home. However, it is the moon in Capricorn. The moon in Capricorn is no nonsense. So this is likely a day where you're going to have conversations that have to do with your long-term plans and goals. There are going to be conversations along the lines of, what are we? Are we going to do this? Okay? Just letting you know. Because it's also the moon will trine Uranus in your 8th house. So remember, intimacy, investments, the long term there as well. You got a big month, Libra. Now, so the next thing is February 16th to the 22nd is the strongest concentration of energy all month. You've got Sunday, February 16th, the Sun square Uranus. So it does look like remember, any of these squares, it's going to be Aquarius, Taurus. So the Sun in Aquarius square Uranus and Taurus. So, and they're not all, remember, it's how you use them. This one's great. This one is you just feeling restless. Like you're ready to have some stimulation. You're craving excitement. You're ready to evolve. So I like this for you. And this is one where you could go really, really, really deep. And it is very heavily involving, things that bring you pleasure and joy and a lot of focus on your future. Now, the same day, Mercury will trine Jupiter. All right. So remember, you have Mercury in Pisces, Jupiter in Cancer. Hello. Some of y'all are going to have some big work moments. All right. This is happening at 15 degrees. We didn't see Jupiter at all last month, so this is great. Remember, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, 15 degrees. That's its degree of exaltation. So Jupiter's at its strongest point and its exaltation where it does its best for you. This is amazing. If you're here for career or work or fame, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. I mean, you've got Jupiter in Cancer in your 10th house, right? So that is career. It's very public facing. It is like your legacy. It's thought leadership, especially with Mercury involved here. So I really love this. If you are here for career, this is an amazing trine. This is also, remember Mercury's in Pisces with Venus, right? In your 6th house of work. So it's work and career. Right? Jupiter expands. A lot of this is something around this time may expand your mind. There may be some really great conversations that you have that move the needle forward, nurturing conversations. You could hear great news. What a great day to have a job interview. Really wonderful. Anyway, we'll talk about it more in your weekly forecast, but look at what's happening right at that time. Monday, February 17th, you've got the big new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, 29 degrees. This is the day that the fire horse, the year of the fire horse, officially begins. I talk about that a lot more in when it everywhere. Actually, I think the top 10 predictions I made for 2026. I'll leave that video at the end of this video. I'll leave all of them. But yeah, this is a big month. This is a big month. I want you to think about what happened for you the last 2 weeks of January. And I know I'm actually releasing this a little bit earlier than February 1st. So you may be in it right now. Don't forget, you got all those conjunctions, the 5-planet conjunction, this surge of energy in your 5th house. Whoa. So that's last week's video. You had a lot of activity. Now you have an eclipse at 29 degrees, which is the anaretic degree. It is a true ending and beginning happening for you right now with joy and pleasure and again, romance, your soulmate. This is the 5th house. It's family, it's children, it's again, creative projects. There is a sense of like entrepreneurship here as well. This is such an artistic house, creativity, creative projects, and again, procreation. A lot of y'all having babies. Congratulations. This is amazing. So what's really interesting is that, remember, eclipses are game changers. They bring change. You go with wherever the wind blows with eclipses, and it just happens to be squaring Uranus and Taurus in your 8th, which is again love. It's love, money, it's everything that I talked about earlier, shared resources, shared assets, intimacy, and sex as well. So there may be something here. I mean, I think a lot of you are going to be having babies. Congratulations. And a lot of y'all, honestly, there's so much relationship stuff and work stuff. Those are going to be 2 big highlights for you. But this eclipse is going to carry you over for like a year and a half. It's strong. Okay? And it's an Aquarius. So you can expect new friends, new communities, new groups, new audiences. Yeah? Really, it's Aquarius too. It's this collective awakening that's happening. So I'm excited to talk more about this when we get to the weekly forecast. But just remember, Aquarius is revolutionary. So with everything else that's happening around this time, there is this sense of urgency. You will feel it. There's a sense of now or never, especially even with the Uranus squares. All the North Node conjunctions, which happening the same day. So here's where you may feel that there is this fated destined event that's happening for you with Venus conjunct the North Node. Again, this is really amazing. Eclipses already have this element of karma to it, as do the nodes of fate. Like the North Node, as does Saturn. And Aries. So you have this convergence of all these aspects and events that are truly leaving you some fated event that is very possible here in your 6th house. So I would not be surprised if a lot of y'all just have big dramatic change. Okay? Again, love, everything that I said earlier, but it's also your 6th house, your everyday activities. I mean, it's like your everyday routines are going to be different from this point forward, but in this amazing, wonderful way. I mean, this is only one of 3 North Node conjunctions this month, okay? And remember, Venus is exalted in Pisces, so this is deeply spiritual as well. You could receive downloads, have epiphanies, something just clicks about your path forward. That's the North Node, your mission statement. And a lot of it will have to do with work. A lot of you are going to be getting pets too. But I really love this for you. Okay. Now, it's happening right before we move into Pisces season. That's February 18th, Tuesday. And so for the next 4 weeks from this point, you're going to have a lot of activity in work. There's going to be a lot of changes in work. And when I say that, if you're watching for your sun sign, I've explained this before. Sometimes these aspects that happen, etc., they're not about you all the time. It can also be about the people in your life, as in a colleague or an employee, or maybe your boss decides to leave and you're next in line, right? So that's that fated event that's happening. But either way, you're going to have a lot of attention around your daily activities, work, and routines. Even the sense of like service to others, but there is a lot of, you may be taking on a lot of responsibilities as well. All right. Now, Thursday, February 20th, you've got the big day. Saturn conjunct Neptune. It like deserves its own holiday. Saturn conjunct Neptune, 0 degrees Aries. This is it. The Great Reset. And also, the Great Collapse. And that's because Saturn can turn your dreams into reality, and Neptune can make it feel very magical. But if you don't put in the work, if you get lost in Neptune's illusion and fantasy, then Saturn will give you a huge reality check. Neptune could leave you in its fog. Yeah. So Saturn builds, Neptune dissolves. They're so different. But they're in Aries, okay? The I am of the zodiac. So you decide how this is going to work. You decide what stays, what goes. It's all up to you, all right? And again, this is in Aries. A lot of focus on partnerships and relationships, love, marriage, and your commitments and contracts. This is you earning that title of spiritual warrior, visionary leader. But you will have to be willing to trust in the unknown. We've never had this. It happens every 36 years. We've never had it at 0 degrees Aries. And in fact, this is only the 7th time in modern human history that Saturn has conjuncted Neptune in Aries. Okay? That's how rare it is. What else is happening? Oh, yeah. Saturday, February 22nd. You got a pen? You got to circle this in your calendar. You got Venus in Pisces trining Jupiter in Cancer at 15 degrees. What? Yeah. This is the best, luckiest day of the month. It's one of the best days of the year. All right? This is probably in the top 10. You've got an exalted Venus in Pisces that's trine an exalted Jupiter in Cancer that's at its degree of exaltation, but also Jupiter rules Pisces. Also, trines are the nature of Jupiter. Also, these are the two benefics, the two brightest planets in the sky. It's a gift from the universe. This is it's a chef's kiss. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. This is abundance. It's optimism. It's expansion. It's like you're at one with everything, but it's very emotionally moving. It's like the big picture, right? But it's also your 10th house and your 6th. So something really big happening here with work and career and fame. There's something here where you could get a promotion. You could get recognized. You could get, an award. You could win the Nobel Peace Prize. Whatever it is, there's something really, really nice. So take advantage. This is amazing. Okay. Water signs will, like Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, are going to feel this aspect and Mercury trine Jupiter the most. If you have any planets 13 to 17 degrees in any of those water signs, you're lucky. You're lucky. But everyone's going to feel it. Now, another thing that's happening is, Mercury goes retrograde. I didn't say that in the intro, did I? Oops. Thursday, February 26th. So Mercury's going retrograde in Pisces. Yeah. Mercury, I think I explained it. Mercury's detriment in Pisces. Look at what's happening. Just days, like everything that's happening before Mercury goes retrograde. Just the sheer magnitude of those aspects are so powerful. When Mercury goes retrograde, and a sign it doesn't do well in, this could feel a little extra foggy, a little bit more confusion. Yeah. When you're in a pool, you're underwater and you look up and it's like, "Rrr." And yeah, Mercury retrograde, it's the typical delays and tech glitches and miscommunication. So keep that in mind. A lot of it's going to have to do with work. Keep that in mind. Colleagues, employees, it's like not getting the emails. It's like, oh, I didn't get email for the meeting and things like that. This is going to be a big one. And health matters as well. So there could be, and so just be very mindful. This would be like maybe doctor appointments, dentist appointments, things like that. Yeah. Now, but also remember, Mercury retrograde is to your benefit. You're meant to use it to slow down and re-examine, review, reassess, reevaluate everything that's been happening in your life up until this point. A lot of people are going to be coming back into your past, or from your past into your lives, especially colleagues. You're going to hear from some former colleagues and employees. Now, Friday, February 27th. This is nice. I like this, especially for you, but you have the Sun conjunct the North Node. But on the same day that Mars is going to square Uranus. So yeah, it's a little bit of destiny. It's a little bit of disruption. But the Sun conjunct the North Node is really nice. I feel like you're gonna feel like you've heard your calling. You know your calling. This is gonna be the third North Node conjunction. So at this point, like you're right where you need to be, where you need to go, all of that, especially when it comes to work and how you want your days to be. Yeah. And then Mars is still in Aquarius, right? Squaring Uranus and Taurus. This is actually nice if you use it. Yeah? This is going to help you break free from anything that's still, you got to shake loose. But it's Mars and it's Uranus. So be very mindful, okay? Because this can be very my way or no other way. Mars is the god warrior, right? So he can be like a spear. Uranus can be chaos and breakdowns, while Mercury's retrograde. So be very, very mindful with this because it can be very impatient. It can be bear pokey. Use it. Yeah? Mars is physicality. And you know where Mars is in Aquarius. We've talked about this. Your 5th house. Uranus is in Taurus in your 8th house. We've talked about this. And so exert energy, yeah, but any way you want to, writing a book, creative projects, and building a treehouse, or go on a spontaneous jog, or do some weed whacking in the garden, or go to a Clay Aiken concert. It doesn't matter. You do you, but just channel this energy constructively. And you'll love it. All right. No, I'll tell you about that later. There's a couple things I'll give you a couple of the Chiron aspects when we break it down later, week by week. Oh, because there's something. It's part of that whole grand design of how everything is just perfectly placed throughout the month, all the aspects. But let's get started. All right, Libra Nation. Let's see what's going on for you for February 2026. Libra, okay. Libra Nation. I know my voice. I always feel like my voice is always gone when I get to you, but maybe I don't have any water. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview. Especially for a monthly forecast. And if we if we need to pull clarifiers, we will. Libra, I got you. The other thing is Libra, y'all are amazing. This is going to be a very interesting month for you. I think a lot of y'all are going to really love it. But remember, you've got to don't resist change. Yeah, be the change. Be the change. All right. A lot of work changes too. All right, let's get started. You're good. You're good. Okay. Give. Mm, yep. Mm. You're good. Like what the? Yeah. Okay. So you got the Six of Wands. Amazing. Amazing. As soon as the month begins. And here's the thing. You're already listen. Those conjunctions. Yeah, they're powerful. Yeah. You got the Pluto Kazemi. You got Mars conjunct Pluto, they're powerful. They're in your fifth house, but Pluto natively rules your second. There can be something here not only with love and romance and, creative projects and whatnot, but also money. Okay? Like, it looks like a lot of y'all may be getting raises or starting a side hustle. There's something you're monetizing, but either way. And even if not, there's something here that's really validating for you. There's something here that's really nice in terms of getting that attention that you deserve, or this is a card of victory and success and public recognition. This is a procession, so it's really, really, really wonderful, especially because this card is a Leo card. And remember, you kick it off with a full moon in Leo in your 11th house of your future hopes and long-term goals and aspirations. And remember, it's very, connecting with others. It's 11th house. It's, humanity. It's the collective. It's society. It's all of that. So you're riding on a high as you move into February, where you have the Page of Cups in the heart of your spread. Now, I love this for you because remember, a lot of y'all are moving. You're falling in love. You're meeting your soulmates. You're getting new jobs, you are getting promotions, you are also launching your own thing, you're doing your own thing. You've got a great month, and it looks like you're going to handle up. Well, I mean, you're going to handle everything really well here. The Page of Cups is like the dreamer. Yeah. And it's a page. It's that, fresh new energy that this page is bringing and representing in your life. It's in the heart of your spread. This is a monthly forecast. So this page is just, all he wants to do is follow his bliss. And there's a lot of creative energy here. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very romantic. I love this. Okay. So you are definitely pursuing love and what you're passionate about, and just very, again, dreamer energy. And he is very has a lot of Piscean energy. Okay, Page of Cups, right? Water. You've got it. You're gonna have a stellium in Pisces. You have North Node and Pisces conjunctions. There's a lot of that. So I'm very happy for you. Okay, you're going to be great. You're going to be getting downloads too. So remember that. Pay attention to your dreams. Yeah, trust your intuition. Listen to your intuition, because you got the Hermit in your challenge area. So this is someone who goes deep. Okay, real, like soul searching. That level of deep, and he's in your challenge area. So just remember to stay, in touch with your higher mind. But the biggest thing of all is it does look like, and it actually feels really good here. All right. It looks like there's someone that, and it might have to do with a Leo full moon, but it does look like there's someone in your life that you may have outgrown, like, as in they could have been giving you like sage advice. You could have always counted on them. They were always there for you. They were that rock for you. And now you're just like, I know enough. And maybe they kind of got lost in the sauce. Yep. So keep that in mind. All right. You probably will know when you know. When you know, right? The other thing is, if you don't know, there's very possible there's someone in your life, an older person, you probably shouldn't be getting advice from. All right? They're not a good role model for you. Now, Two of Wands in your crown. You're ready. You're already planning. You're at the top of your castle. You got the world in your hand. You're good. You're ready. Especially with relationships. Okay? Business, love. This card is an Aries card. Yeah. You're ready. And that's where a lot of focus is anyway. But also contracts, agreements. It seems like you're looking to change things. Yeah, you want to sign some stuff. Okay, great. Keep at it. You got the Wheel of Fortune and the Radiator Spread. You're ready. You're gonna feel shifts like big. Yeah. You're gonna feel big shifts. That's gonna be your title this week. You're gonna feel big shifts. You got the Wheel of Fortune and the Radiator Spread. I mean, come on. This is a wheel that's constantly turning, right? Highly associated with karma. It's almost like you are cashing in your karma points and you are doing everything to attract anything that you know you deserve. Okay? This is really amazing. There's got to be a lot of this card is attributed to Jupiter, first of all, so that's luck and abundance and wisdom, all of that. But wow, it's almost like there's a lot of y'all gonna be taking risks, it feels like, too, which feels really nice. You're ready. There's this confidence here. Anyway, you got the three of cups in your future. And so there is something that you can get really excited about. A lot of y'all may get married. A lot of y'all may go steady with someone. You may be celebrating something new. You may be celebrating something ending for something new. It's Three of Cups. 3 is a vibration of the Empress, and which is creation. Yeah. But it's also like growth and advancement and maturation and development. But either way, this is you're really good. You got something to look forward to, and there's a sense of like bonding, being with your tribe, being with your friends, being with your colleagues. There's something that you may be celebrating together, so it feels really nice. All right, and there's a lot of career stuff here, to be honest. It just feels like you're gonna have big moments in career if you're here for that, and if not, like just your passions. Yep. Let's get to your stuff. Libra, y'all are amazing. Listen. I mean, this is a great month for you. There's going to be a lot of change, but I think that you want it. Yeah. Especially with that Wheel of Fortune and the Radiator Spread. If you like this reading, by the way, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what is going on. Hype is the new thing, but tell me what's going on. I want to know. Libra Nation, this is amazing. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's gonna be some change. All right. Okay, you go for it. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, with the Ace of Pentacles, just listen. You create your path this month. You make it happen. You already know that. It's almost like it's just when I see what's happening for you, I'm just like, you already know. You have this confidence. Yeah. And it's almost that. And if you can think about the summer, there should have been some moments where you just felt it, right? You got the Ace of Pentacles. I mean, it's the biggest pentacle in the deck, and so This is money. This is wealth. Remember, you've got a lot of energy with Uranus going direct and then having a lot of aspects in your eighth of wealth building. But then you also have a lot of career stuff where a lot of y'all may be moving into new ventures. But then remember, you also have a lot of this Aquarius energy with Pluto in Aquarius and natively ruling your second. So yeah, there's a lot of activity here where there can be a lot of new pathways and opportunities when it comes to money and career. And if you're not here for any of that, Pentacles are your physical reality. They're, it can be a relationship, new relationship that you're moving into. It could be you're getting something within your world, like a material possession. It could be that toaster that you really wanted. It could be a baby. A lot of you are you're going to have kids. Congratulations. Now, you also have the Six of Swords in your external factors area. I love that. There is a sense of, I feel like you with another person, it could be a partner, it could be, again, in work, love, home, family, and it could be multiple people, to be honest. It feels like y'all are at a place this February where just like, you know what? Why are we holding on to this energy? We just let it go, move forward. We're over it, right? And maybe it could have been something that was challenging, something that may have been difficult, but either way, for some of y'all, it's like forgive and forget. For a lot of y'all, you're like, we can't change the past. We learned our lesson. Moving forward. We're not going to get stuck in the past. So either way, it's amazing. All right. There's this sense of, look at here. You see the turbulent waters? Yeah. Look at the direction they're going, right? There's no undulation. So they're going to like from chaos to calm. And because it brings this peace of mind. And it almost feels like this rite of passage to you. You may be going through that this month. Yeah. And I got I cut my fingers. Anyway, the Knight of Pentacles. Whoa. You're in it to win it. Knight of Pentacles, like all the knights are on a mission, right? This is the knight whose horse is just like Eeyore. Yeah. I don't even know. Is Eeyore a dog? Not a dog. Horse. I don't even remember. But anyway, this is a horse that doesn't go nowhere, right? It's just sitting there. But that's the whole point. Slow and steady wins a race. This is the biggest field in tarot, by the way. And so this night, he's planted his seeds. He's going to reap his rewards. And he's going to wait patiently because whatever he wants, it's for the long term. It's not this quick, like, I want this next week. I want this to happen. No, I'm building something here. I'm investing in something here. I'm taking my time here. I'm watching over everything grow. So there's something that you really want for the long term, which could be, job. It could be, marriage. It could be 401k. Like, again, your 8th house is so activated, which is all about investments. So good for you. Now, you got the Tower and your final outcome. There's going to be change. Some things are going to change. And remember, the Tower moment, it didn't happen to you. It happens for you. You got to always remind you. Something's not working. Mm-hmm. And there's your, fated, destined moments. There's your eclipse that could bring something that you didn't expect. But when you look at your entire spread here, it does feel like, I did say that there's a lot of like a confidence. You know what you're doing. You know what you want. I'll clarify that one. I think it's you. Actually, let me see something here. Yeah. So the Tower moment, when you have a month, when you've got 4 Uranus squares, when you've got Uranus rolling direct, when you've got an eclipse in Aquarius, the first eclipse of the year, when you've got 3 North Node conjunctions, when you have the Saturn-Neptune conjunction that hasn't happened ever, right? It's going to be a month. It's going to be a month. I said, don't resist change, be the change. This is you being the change, but if you're going to do that, at least have an idea of where you're going to go after, right? With that 7 of Cups. And as long as you do that, you're going to be good. Now, the other, with the Judgment card, which is you having this big wake-up call, all right? This is having a huge spiritual awakening. This is when you realize, what's meaningful in your life, or wanting to bring more meaningful things into your life. This is really great. This is knowing your path, seeking your path forward. So it does look like there may be a little bit of, with that 7 of Cups, a little bit of confusion. I'm not surprised with Mercury, and go retrograde in Pisces, but just Mercury in Pisces. But yeah, I actually don't mind that. And that's what I mean is like, some of y'all may do some things where it's like, it's part of the 6 of Swords story, right? Like there's something that's not working, and we're just going to move forward. It happened. Let it go. We're going to move forward. Nothing we can do. But then there's some of y'all that's just like, you know what? Burn it down, build it up. Phoenix rising from the ashes. When the tower falls, wait, I can see. But you gotta let that smoke clear. Okay? And then that's when it's like, But again, for a lot of y'all, it's going to be in that fog that may bring that clarity that you need, that awakening that you need. Yeah? Now, for a lot of y'all, it may be, there's got to be something that just out of nowhere, you're like, what? And you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what happened. And there's now like 30 different paths that are opening up for me. I don't know which way to go. Once you know, you'll be fine. That's why you got to trust your intuition. Oh, yeah, let's break it down week by week. Libra, the first week, you got that full moon in Leo, and then you've got a lot of other things happening for you. Uranus moving direct. One thing I'm going to point out. Okay, so remember, there's several sextiles with Chiron, and you're going to have on Wednesday, February 4th, right after Uranus stations direct. This might have a really big impact on you. So just to remind you, all the squares with Uranus are going to be planets in Aquarius. So like Venus in Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius, et cetera, right? So that would be, again, your 5th house as well as your 8th house. They both have to do with intimacy and relationships and sex and procreation, but also like money. Now, with all the Chiron sextiles, Chiron is in Aries. So, and they're all going to be planets in Aquarius still. So that'll be your 5th house of joy, pleasure, romance, family, children, procreation, etc., creative projects, and partnerships and relationships. Now, this is your deepest wounds, right? Chiron represents, he's a wounded healer. And these are sextiles. So these are windows of opportunity. So these are amazing. And like I said, there's something that feels designed about this month, because all these sextiles with Chiron are giving you opportunities to heal old wounds right before you get to the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, where you have a great reset. So remember, you're leaving everything in the past for this brand new world that you're creating for yourself. And so a lot of these wounds will be, they could be insecurities. They could be, low confidence, self-esteem when it comes to relationships and even business relationships and any type of relationships, to be honest, but love and marriage. So keep that in mind. You're going to be healing all month. And Wednesday, February 4th, you've got Venus in Aquarius, sextile Chiron in Aries. So there's something here with love and marriage, where and again, it can be like business partners as well. Venus, it represents money. Um, so this is it really is like repairing trust. Okay, it's very empowering. Yeah, and it really helps like it's like all about your self-worth here. Now, February 6th. Oh, well, you got Mercury moving into Pisces. You've got, let's see what's going on. That's the first week. First week for you. Libra. All right. You're going to be fine. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles. This is luxury. This is opulence. This is like you made it. You earned your spot. You worked hard to get where you're at. So there is a sense of, yeah, the first week, especially with that full moon in Leo. I really like that one for you. There's got to be, and again, remember that movement with Uranus going direct. Like for a lot of y'all, you're going to feel that. There is with the Nine of Pentacles, a sense of like self-sufficiency, a sense of, freeness. Yeah. This is someone who is celebrating her independence in her garden of abundance. And you do see the symbol of Venus all over her gown. So the first week looks great. Now the second week, you've got Venus square Uranus. Yep, you got Venus moving into Pisces, and then Saturn moving into Aries. And of course, there's more aspects, but let's see. Yeah, second week for you, Libra. You Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that by the second week. By the way, the first week, the Nine of Pentacles is highly associated with like retirement as well. If you're, exploring. Second week, the Seven of Pentacles. So I think there is going to be a moment where you're going to have to really think about it. It feels more about your future. Okay. You got to stop looking at the past. It's more about your future. That's what you want. You want to set things up for the long term, long lasting. That's fine to just kind of, have your last glance back, but use it to think about like, what are the things that I could have changed? What are the things that I can still change? What are the things that, may help me moving forward? At this point, Mercury is actually, in shadow. So, that's fine. But there is also, feels like you may be doing some shadow work around this time too, with your 8th house activated, but with that Seven of Pentacles is actually a Taurus card. So even with Uranus and Taurus in your 8th, that does make sense. But yeah, think about the future. This is your last glance back, but use it for any nuggets of wisdom as you move forward, especially with finances and money, but also setting yourself up. You can use this to set yourself up, like as in like, okay, am I at a place where things can just, roll out in a way where I really earned everything here too? Now the third week, I set myself up for success. Now the third week, do you have Mercury trine Jupiter? You have the eclipse. Venus conjunct the North Node. We move into Pisces season. You have Saturn conjunct Neptune. You've got Venus trine Jupiter. You also, by the way, the day of Venus trine Jupiter, you will have Mars in Aquarius, sextile Chiron in Aries. This is like ripping off the Band-Aid, okay? Especially, again, with things that bring you joy and pleasure and romance and, relationships. Let's see what's going on for you. Third week, February. You're good. You got the Emperor. This is mastery of self. I mean, you got it with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries. The Emperor is Aries. So I really love this for you. This is that confidence, that power, that wisdom, passion, everything. I mean, he's the ruler of the land and ruler of his destiny. Now, the last week, Mercury goes retrograde. You have the Sun conjunct the North Node, Mars square Uranus. Here's the thing. One more thing. We'll talk about it when we get to the last week, but March 3rd is when we have the lunar eclipse in Virgo. And it might be a little confusing for you because Mercury will already be retrograde. Virgo rules your 12th house. And that can be very, like, lost in the sauce. Mercury's retrograde in Pisces. And so that is a lot of, like, the subconscious. But when you've got a lunar eclipse in Virgo, yeah, the moon is, subconscious. Virgo rules your 12th house of the subconscious. You could be there's a lot going on upstairs. Just let you know, but it's a time to release, okay? Anyway, let's see what's going on for you for the last week of February. Libra Nation. That's a great Sun North Node conjunction for you. You got it all. You have the 10 of Cups. It's a happy ending. And listen, again, there's something very spiritual about the 10 of Cups. I mean, you have the cups over their heads, like aligned in that rainbow, right? That's a lot of enlightenment. But you see the happy couple, the happy kids. Your 5th house is so activated. That Piscean energy is so strong spiritually. It was a lot of compassion. And it's just such a great, I love this, is all I'm saying. I love this for you. This is, it's like, there's just this state of happiness that you got last time. You did get it, didn't you? Yeah. You're on your way. You're on your way. You're going to be fine. You're good. And it's cups, so it's love and relationships, but also feelings and emotions and intuition, all of that. You're fine. Listen, Libra, next week we will go deeper in the aspects. And yes, for tier 3 members, really good, and legendary members, yeah, we're gonna look at career, we're gonna look at love, we're gonna money, we're gonna pull more cards. Your big message for the month, all of that. Anyone's welcome to join. You know where to find the link. And if you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on, Libra. Whoa. It's like, whoa, this is a big month. All right. What was the title I was going to leave for y'all? It's a big shift or something. And Libra, come on. Y'all crack me up. Stop it. Okay. Libra Nation, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.